but fishing thing.
Hello and welcome to episode 87. Join me down at Coke Farm Fisheries, fishing on Oak Lake, 48 hours. George is in the swim to my right, and it's actually nearly 9 o'clock. We got here about 7ish. Quite a long journey because of a huge diversion. But no, it's a beautiful evening, nice and cool compared to what it has been all day. The weather is meant to be piping hot tomorrow and Wednesday, so it's going to be nice to have a nice cool night to start with. We're fishing one rod over to an island. I'll show you in a second in more detail, with a combi rig. Trimmed boilies, so it's dumbbell shape with boilies around it. I'll probably put a few more out in a bit. And the right rod is just down in this margin. Again, it's on a half and half combi with double pop-up cord, and I've got a load of pellet over that and some crushed down boiling. It's looking good. I mean, one fish has come out, grass carp, this morning. So there's a couple of other anglers on it, apart me and George. So pretty hopeful. We're here for a long time. Never fished it before, but nice long time. So hopefully we'll have something. Here we go. No idea what the time is because I've turned my phone off to save battery. I think it's probably about 1 in the morning. My left rod has just gone off. This one that's over to the island. Probably only about 17, 18 pound. Lovely fish. Didn't really fight much until it got on the mat, and then it went a bit mental. So lovely to get me out of bed. It's one of the first fish I've had properly in the night ever night fishing, so lovely to catch one. And just try and show you the other side. And there's the other side. It's a lovely look. So I haven't weighed it, but probably about 17, 18 pound. It's a lovely first fish. Hopefully we'll have some more in the night. Let's get him back. Here we go. It's probably about half an hour after I've had that other one. I've had this ghosty, probably about £12, £30. Beautiful fish, and on the same rod. I'm casting blind, so I can't see where it's going. I just cast what we think roughly is about the same place. And obviously got it pretty near, pretty close. Let's rub this one. Absolutely solid fish. I've never felt carp quite as hard as this. It's just pure muscle, which is strange because the fight it put up suggested it was muscle. It was just sort of plodded in and went in the net. As soon as it's in the net, it splashed about. So just going to show you the other side. It's a beautiful fish. There's the other side. Much the same, but it's a beautiful fish. Very, very pale, ghosty. I saw it in the water, even in the dark. It was a ghosty. So get a few pictures, slip her back. Morning. Quite a sleepless night last night, as you saw. First fish came actually at just after 2. And that was that £18 mirror. Well, I didn't weigh it, but that's what I've guessed it at. And then probably about half an hour later, or 40 minutes later, the same rod went off again. So obviously got it quite close to where I was fishing. That was probably about £12 ghosty. Went quiet after that, after getting the rod back out, but I've just recast the rod this morning, and it was tangled up, so no surprises there. The right rod hasn't gone off, which is surprising. I thought it might have done because the wind's pushing down into that margin. There's quite a bit of bait out there, so. But not complaining. I've had 2 fish, and that's the only fish come out throughout the night, as far as I know. I don't think the boat composites had anything. So still pretty good. I'm happy I haven't blanked on a new lake. So early days still. Hopefully we'll have something else. The sun's pretty high in the sky now, and the temperature's getting up. So I thought it was time to put a zig out. I'm not sure what the depth is, so I don't have a marker float, so I've just bodged one with a bubble float and running lead. And I'm just going to plumb the depth out here, see what sort of depths there are. I've already done a little bit, it's averaging about 4.5 to 5 foot in front of me, it's slightly deeper to the right. I'm just going to cast about a bit more and get more of an average and set a zig up correct depth. Spot that I want to put the zig to is about 5 and a bit foot, so I'm going to set it probably 4.5 foot, so it's probably about a foot under the surface, and I'll start off with that, leave it for about an hour or so. If nothing happens, I'll change the depth, change the foam, and just show you the zig I'm using as well. There's the zig set up, and still keep the leader on because there's no need to take it off. Obviously it's not really going to affect anything. Inline lead, probably about 2 ounce I think it is. Little tail rubber just to keep everything neat. And then to my zig, which I've set at about 4 and a bit foot with 2 different coloured bits of foam on. I watched Ali Hamidi on zigs before I came yesterday because I knew I'd be fishing with zigs in this weather, and quite an interesting idea of having 2 different coloured foam. I've got a black bit nearest the hook, so when a fish looks up I see the black silhouette, and above that is the red bit of foam, so if a fish swims above it they'll see colour from below. That's quite a good idea. Whether it'll work or not today I don't know, but it seemed to work for him. So that's what I'm going to be trying, and it's probably a 30 foot chuck to where I want to be fishing, so let's get in. Right, well as you can see, it's still a boiling hot day. The wind is actually keeping us just about alright. If this wind wasn't here, it would be unbearable. But yeah, it's, fishing is very, very slow. George had a couple of touches, and that's it on what seems to be the whole lake. Person to the left of me left probably about an hour or so ago, and 2 swims down, or 3 swims down, is another angler, and then further on there's another one. There's a couple of people on it now, but I haven't heard a single thing. I don't think anyone's caught anything else. So it is very tough going. Best bet really I think is just to keep at it obviously until the evening when it starts to cool down, and hopefully throughout the night we'll have a few more, because obviously last night 2 o'clock onwards I had 2 fish. But I've chopped and changed with the zig rig. I took it down about 1/2 foot, a bit more than that, off when I first put it out, put it back out in the same spot, nothing. So I've moved it to the other side, right between the 2 islands pretty much, where the bloke has moved, so I've now got a bit of space to put a rod, but nothing else on that. And a couple of fish showing tight to the island where we've got our rods. I mean, mine is probably about a rod length round from the point of the island, but still against the island, and I had a fish roll directly above it about 5 minutes ago, and probably about 20 foot further round from that is where George has got his rod to the island, and fish have been rolling there most of the day. So fish are in the area, it's just getting them to take our baits. New rig on the island rod as well, tied up a size 10, so it's a bit smaller, blowback combi rig, so something a bit different. The combi rig is what I had the fish on last night, both fish. Another fish has just showed on the spot. So yeah, it's just the only difference is on this one is I've made it blowback with a little rig ring, and I've got a wafter on instead. It's probably popped up about this much. I'll show you it later on if I have fish on it. But yeah, just taking in all the sun at the moment. Probably going to be red raw by the evening, not in a gay way. But we'll see how it goes, and hopefully we'll have a fish quite soon. Not looking for any sponsors or anything. Rig that I had them 2 fish on last night. Simple combi, so I've got stiff link section and then bit of putty, and then probably about an inch or 2 of supple. Bottom bait with pop-up corn on, which I've been soaking in goo for the last 24 hours. Just put a bit more on the outside of it. And I'm going to try and cast it out with a little bag on. It's quite a far distance, so I've only been able to get singles out. But I'm going to try and put this little bag out. So it's just a little bit of bait around it as well. Right, well, it's been a very, very slow day. As you probably know by now, I've told you quite a few times. It's just been way too hot for the fish, really. But quite a lot of wind, so we couldn't see any fish on the surface. I had a drop back on my zig probably about 3/4 of an hour ago now, but nothing happened with it. It just dropped back and loads of slack line, so I think a fish did pick it up, but just didn't hook it up properly, which is a shame. But it's getting into the evening. Like I said, it's coming up 6:30, sorry. So the temperature should drop soon, and that's when the fish will start to come out. We didn't have a fish until 2 AM this morning, so hopefully the night will be productive. Both me and George will have some more fish, because obviously George is still blanking at the moment. He's yet to admit that it's because he's a crap angler, but that's George for you. It's going to be another gorgeous evening by the looks of it, and quite a warm night. Last night didn't really get cold at all. It stayed pretty warm. So yeah, hopefully have something soon. It's looking good for a bite. Fish has been showing all day, it's just they've not been feeding, so finish these noodles up, have a few more bevies, and enjoy the sun going down. Here we go, here's the rig I'm about to put out. It's the pretty much the same rig as what I caught fish on last night. Stiff section, probably about 7 inches of it, and an inch or so of supple section, with a boilie on and a little bit of pop-up corn. I've just put a bit of PVA on the rig for the cast. It's quite a long chuck. I want to make sure everything isn't tangled on the cast. So this is ready to go out. As you've already seen, I've clipped up nice and close. So it's just a matter of getting it out, getting a bit of bait around it and leaving it, and hopefully we'll have one tonight. full day, and this time yesterday we'd been fishing for a couple of hours with no fish, so the first fish came at 2 AM, so it should be a good night. Seems we've got a nice bit of bait out, rods are in spots we know, well, I've got a rod in a spot that I know works, rigs that we know work, and baits that we know work. So very confident for tonight. I thought I'd do a vlog now before the light completely goes. The sun's set, the sky is turning bluey purple. It's a beautiful evening, and to be honest, as I just posted on Facebook, you can't get more relaxed than this. I mean, a good company, cider, and a beautiful evening on a calm water. A fish would be a bonus, but it's just lovely to be out here right now, to be honest. It'd be good for George to catch one. He's still yet to catch a fish, so hopefully he'll have something tonight and tomorrow. But it's just lovely to be here, to be honest. So hopefully next time the camera's on, we'll have a fish in my mat or George's mat, and we'll be very, very happy. Right, well, it looks like it's starting to get light again the next day. Didn't even realise I'd gone to sleep when I woke up and thought it was getting light again. But just woke up, and a couple of minutes later, left rod has come into life. And I've had this fish. Beautiful fish, one of the nicest one I've had, I think, this session. Probably about the same size as the first one, 17–18 pound. But a much nicer looking fish in my opinion. Lovely scales on it. They put up a very, very good fight, and that was off the island rod again. So very happy, good start to the day. Let's get some pictures of him and slip him back. Right there, well, it's 10:10. The sun's pretty high in the sky now, wind's picked up again, and it's very, very hot. As I just shown you, I just put out zigs on both my rods, so going for the fish that are probably going to be higher up in the water, because all of yesterday nothing came out, and as far as I know most people were fishing the bottom. I had one zig out and had a drop back, and that was it. So I've put both rods out on zigs. One of them is about 3 foot, 3.5 foot, and that's going about a rod length off the corner of the island. And the right rod is 4 foot, I think, 4 and a bit foot, and that's out into mid-water to my right. So similar baits as yesterday. I mean, the right rod is the same as the black and red colour formation, and the left rod is white foam. So that's the baits I'm using. Just going to stick at it all day again like we did yesterday. Get some food soon, I think, 'cause I'm quite hungry, and hopefully have a fish in the day. It'd be nice to have one in the day and get some proper nice footage of them, because they're nice fish in here. The fish I've caught in good condition, lovely looking fish, so it'd be good to catch a few more, and hopefully George will have some. Right, well, we finally come to the end of our session. Time to pack away. We've got about, well, we've got 3/4 of an hour, so we have to be off the lake. So rods will be last thing to come in, obviously. I had a few fish still crashing on my island spot, so I'm hopeful that I'll have a last minute fish. But anyway, it's been alright for me. I've had 3 fish, good average size. I mean, 2 upper teens and a low teen. It's a shame that George didn't have any fin. I mean, he even tried on the long lake next door for a few on the surface, but they weren't having it either, so a bit of a shame. And out of everyone that's on here, actually, I'm the only one to have caught, so I feel quite lucky that I've had something, or at least I'm in the right spot. So definitely come again, but probably when the weather's a little bit cooler. It has just been unbearable some of the time. But now it's clouded up a bit, it's cooled down slightly, and it looks perfect for a bite, but we have to head on, sod's law. And nothing on the zigs either. We thought the zigs would do something. I mean, I had 2 zigs out earlier and George had 3 out, and nothing happened, so a bit of a shame. Different depths, different baits, just wasn't having it. So just a bit too hot, I think, for the fish. Never mind, I've enjoyed being here. It's been my first ever 48-hour session, so longest one to date, and yeah, it's been a good time. So I hope you enjoyed the video anyway. I kind of showed you how I fish in hot conditions and the rigs that I caught fish on, so on a new lake, not bad either. So yeah, I'm gonna stop rambling. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like it if you did, leave a comment and subscribe to me, and if you haven't already, find me on Facebook, Nothing But Fishing. See you again. How's it going, George?
Not very well, I haven't caught anything yet.
What are you playing at? Need a romantic dinner, George. There you go, darling. Enjoy your noodles. It's really hot.
Complaining about the heat of the food again.
Bloody hell. Oh. Thatchers, good for burns. May not look nice. It's a future manufacturers, that is. Night air. You may be able to notice he's got a nice rip in his shorts as well. Just a lovely, lovely bit of arse right there. That is just beautiful in the evening sun. George, just admiring your ass in the evening sun. Beautiful.